manage stress in high-pressure situations, such as during exams or job searches?
Yes.
What techniques have you found the most effective for maintaining mental well-being?
No, that's a very good question. I think that's something we all may have challenges with.
Yeah.
Like I've had challenges with myself. What I've found really beneficial for me personally is breathing. And breathing, when we get stressed, we breathe very shallowly, like this. We don't breathe deep enough. So, really, taking a few deep breaths will really make a difference to to just making us a bit more calm. There's diaphragmatic breathing, so like belly breathing, it's called. That really helps reduce stress, almost instantly. So really practicing that during stressful times. Sometimes stressful times could be before an interview, before an exam, during the exam, like during the interview, right? During like a presentation, let's say, before a presentation, during presentation. Meeting someone who it could be a potential employer, someone who, So all of these things, you can use breathing as a very powerful method. There are, of course, other stress reduction techniques like mindfulness meditation that you can do regularly by bringing attention onto the breath and body throughout the day, whether it's formal practice or informal practice. So this is another approach, and also just having a good balanced life. Eating well, sleeping well, exercising, having a social network. Being able to talk to people, it's a combination of all of this, a balanced life that creates a healthy mind and a healthy body to be able to manage stress.
Yeah. Speaking of balancing, time management is another area where we struggle a lot, especially the students when we have to juggle multiple responsibilities. So. Can you provide an example where you have managed your time effectively when balancing multiple commitments such as work, studies, or extracurricular activities?
Absolutely. It's, again, very important, very important question when it comes to managing our lives, right, around time. So one thing I always tell all my students is like, everyone gets the same amount of time. So like how you use it, right? How you use time, and how we use time is all about the right kind of prioritization. What's more important, right? Asking ourselves, how am I going to put first thing first, right? Like the most important things, I got to kind of commit it. Then there's the scheduling of that into either a calendar or so there's the implementation of some kind of either a digital calendar or a physical calendar or of some sort. So that's the logistics of it, is just really having something, and that's now easy. There's lots of calendars that you can use, whether it's Outlook or Google Calendar or whatever it is. But really just making sure it's scheduled in, because if you don't schedule it in, it's easy to forget. If it's just in a to-do list, it's easy to forget, because you don't know when to do that. It's in my to-do list, but you might get caught up with other things. But if you block a time, you just dedicate that time for that particular thing. The second thing is focusing, really focusing on that activity and not being distracted, because a lot of times we block the time and then we do something else. So we've got to be very mindful, and we're all guilty of that. It can happen. But really learning to focus, and there are focusing tools out there to help us focus. So it's a matter of making sure we prioritize, schedule in the time, and really just focusing and saying, I'm committed to this, I'm going to do this. Removing distraction. There are focus apps out there, and you can look, like I've got a book on well-being and effectiveness, and I've kind of shared some of those tools in that. And that's pretty much it. It's just being able to know what is important, and when am I going to do this task, scheduling it in and focusing, and then following through. That's it. It sounds simple, but of course it's it can become challenging as well.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for the important tips and strategies. So I do believe that having a good time management will lead us to success and have a balanced life.